All right, welcome. So today we're going to talk about input in Java. So we're looking at Java again. Now we're going to look at different input ways that we can, or different input variables, how to take an input from a user and use that information. One thing with Java, so we're going to use a method called scanner, which is right here. So because I'm using this online compiler, I need to import this. So I'm at the top of my program, I'm just going to say import java.utility.scanner. Depending on what you're using, that is very much something that you probably will have to use more than likely. So at the top, I'm just going to import scanner. And scanner is basically their small program that's used to gather input. Okay, so if I want to have input, I want to, over here on my output screen over here, I'm going to ask a question, then I'm going to take an input from my user that's using my program. I need to set up that scanner. So the first thing I'm going to do is import that library of information, or the different programs in that program is scanner. So I'm going to import that into my work environment so I can now use this. Okay, so my next thing is I'm going to use scanner. Now you can name this anything you want. You could do scanner and just call it scan. You could use it to call it input. Kind of a useful way to do it that way. And then we're going to say that this is going to be a new scanner. Okay. And then we're going to say that this is a system input thing, or utility. Okay. Oops. And then I always got to end this with a semicolon. So this right here now will set up my scanner and allow me to use it. So I can create a variable, and I'm going to use it and call it a string. So I'm looking for text, and my variable I'm going to collect is for cars. So I'm just going to ask a question about cars. And it's important with these that you kind of name them relevant to what you're looking for. So if I was looking for something like first name or last name or something like that, I'd want to put that in there. I'm looking for car, so my variable name that's a string is going to be called car. Okay, and then I'm going to say, I'm going to do input dot next line. Okay. And what that is, now if we look at this, here's my scanner and I've named it input. So now in my program, when I use input, notice here if I highlight this, it's actually telling me that there's my input. Okay. So this name is now using the scanner, and it's going to collect this and put it into my variable called car. And then we can kind of print this off here too. We can just say system.out.print. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then we're just going to print car. All right, so, and then my semicolon at the end. Make sure that every line in Java you have a semicolon after this, unless it's something that goes on for a longer thing. All right, so here's my scanner, named input. It's a new scanner. You got to use system.in. Okay. Here's my variable. It's going to be a string. Okay, and its name is car, and it's going to take the input from this scanner that I have here. And the next line just means that it's going to move down a line to have input. I can kind of show you that when I print some text here in a second. Okay, so when I run this, it's got a blinking cursor here. So now we'll just say Dodge, and it printed Dodge. So we can see that here if I want to go ahead and just go ahead and create a blank line. And then above this, what I'm going to do is ask a question. I'm going to do system.out.print, and we're going to say, what is your favorite car? Okay, so now this is going to print on a line. This right here, next line, means it's going to go down to the next line over here to ask to have a cursor. If I didn't do that, you could do, if you didn't do next line, it would just print off to the side of that, but we want to have a next line, so it's right below that. And then we're going to have a blank line, and then it's going to go ahead and print that off. Okay, so let's go ahead and run that. Oh, what did I do wrong here? Oh man, forgot the semicolon. Got to remember the semicolons. Very, very important. So what's your favorite car? Well, we'll do Ford. And there's a space, a blank line, and then it's going to print Ford. And obviously this doesn't look that good, so we should probably add some text with this as well. So what I'm going to do is say your favorite is, then we're going to use these concatenate symbols like this. And what this means is we're going to print this, your favorite car is, and then it's going to take that information from car and print that off. Okay, let's go ahead and run that. So your favorite car is, we'll do Chevy now. And then we'll say your favorite car is, and there's Chevy. So these concatenate symbols are very useful as well. Basically what we're doing with this is we're telling it that we're going to take this text that's right here, and we're going to add it to this variable car, which is right here. And then we're going to take that information and put those two together. And if I did not have a space here, it would mash these together. It does not see any space in here. So if I run this again, take this space out, and we'll run this again. We'll do Jeep this time. Your favorite car is Jeep. All right, so see how there's no space there. So I got to make sure when I do something like this, and I use the concatenate, that it does not see this space. And so you got to make sure you have space of text here so that it doesn't mash them together and it actually looks really good. All right, hopefully this helps you with your programming, and good luck.